Welcome to Crossbody of Work. My name is Evan.
I am Javier.
And this week we continue our deep dive into the career of Sting.
The "it's not a phase, Mom" version of Sting.
Yeah, we're going from happy-go-lucky, look at my bright colors, everything is wonderful, to I listened to My Chemical Romance once, Sting. He saw The Crow one. Actually, he didn't even see The Crow, if I remember correctly.
Oh my god.
I'm pretty sure somebody else was like, hey, have you seen this? You
You
should.
like jazz?
You like jazz? You should make this your whole gimmick. And
Jesus
he
Christ.
did.
My guy went supernova. He's freaking John Wick with paint on his face.
And he's out for blood if you are bad in the WCW, I guess. If you're part of the
Sure.
NWO, he's out for blood.
I like how he was like, there's only one way to beat the NWO. I need to go emo.
I'm going to go to a depth that you've never seen before. It's like, all right, dude. Chill the fuck out.
I'm gonna listen to REM for inspiration, then come out here with a baseball bat and fuck up Hulk Hogan.
You think he's listening to Losing My Religion and then just dropping from the rafters?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. So if you've never listened to us, welcome. We watch 5 of wrestlers' matches, and for the special 3-parters, we picked 15 matches. We're in part 2. If you haven't heard part 1 of Sting, go listen to that. Come back to this. We'll still be here. This week, it's finishing up his WCW stuff, so we're going to go right to the end of his run in WCW. Is this the era of Sting you knew better? Like, obviously, you know TNA Sting a lot because you're a TNA guy, but like, when you think of Sting, which Sting do you think of?
When I think of Sting, I think of the Crow, I would say. But more than anything, I'd say I think of the few years into his run in TNA Sting, where he's kind of like a mixture of the two, where he's dressed as the Crow, he still has all his little, he comes out with the baseball bat, his song is still kind of like, ominous and all this stuff, but when he's on the mic, he's like Surfer Sting.
Yeah, he's a mellowed out dad a little bit.
Yeah, that's the Sting I think of.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, if you were to just, like a few weeks ago, if you would just say, hey, when you think of Sting, what do you think of? Yeah, first thing I think of, white face paint, dark hair, black trench coat.
And a guy who can make an entrance, like he did at Forbidden Door this past week as we're recording, where he did the fake out of being in the rafters and then just jumped onto the box. I love that.
Yeah, Sting is in his 60s. I would just like
he's a wild man.
Just like to put that out there.
Yeah, and he's nuts. Speaking of putting things out there, let's put out all of the housekeeping things wherever you're listening. Be sure to rate 5 stars. It helps the boys out tremendously as we continue to grow. Follow us on Twitter at Crossbody of Work. Merch table is open. Buy shirts. Buy yourself a shirt. Support the boys. FullPressShop.com. All those good things. I think it might have been a new speed record for housekeeping. God damn.
Hey, man. You're getting good at this shit.
It's almost like this is episode 120. Because it's episode 120.
We've been doing this for way too long at this point.
And yet there's no end in sight. Let's jump right into match 1. We are looking at a match between Sting and Vader at Starrcade 1992. I thought this was going to be for the WCW title. When we last left Sting, was the WCW champion. He loses the title to Vader at Great American Bash, who then loses it to Ron Simmons, who we covered in, I think, our 4th episode. Go listen to that. Instead, this match has nothing to do with the world title. It's the finals of the King of Cable tournament.
I fucks with it.
What the fuck is the King of Cable tournament?
I assume it's their King of the Ring kind of deal.
But it's about being the top guy on cable TV, which neither of these guys are. You know who the King of Cable is? Jerry Springer.
I was going to say Larry David.
Nah, my other option was Maury Povich. You are not the father.
In 96 or whatever year this is? No, this 92. Would have been like 90. Yeah, 92.
Yeah, but like I
Wasn't
meant the King
Povich
Cable
92?
overall. I don't know. I was a baby in '92. I don't know these
If
things.
you had to guess who was the head of Cable in '92, who would you have
Ted
guessed?
Turner. My
Oh,
guess
there you
would be
go.
Ted Turner.
Ted Turner,
That man's
God
got money.
himself.
So to get to the final, Sting beat Brian Pillman and Rick Rude. Vader beat Tony Atlas and Dustin Rhodes. This
Okay.
show also talked about, also had the lethal lottery and battle bowl concepts, which I want brought back so fucking badly.
Give me the battle ball.
It's such so lethal lottery, random tag teams. They have tag matches against each other. Whatever the winning team is, they go into the battle bowl. Then the winner of the battle bowl, I think it's a world title shot. It's a
I need
great
it.
concept. It's so good.
Dude,
AEW, steal it right now.
not even just that. WWE, you have 3 hours
You have
and
so much time.
no stars. Just,
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly it. There aren't
just
a lot of. We were talking before we recorded. There's nothing on WWE TV there right now that intrigues me.
Evan's out. Evan's out completely. I'm
I'm
at
out.
least there with NXT. I'm
I
fucking
gotta
with
get back
NXT
in.
2.0.
I gotta get back in NXT 2.0. I
But
gotta
no,
dive back in.
we're both out on the main product.
Why does Vader have a do rag?
Homie, I was about to say the same damn thing. It's my first note. Why is Vader rocking a do-rag?
Vader has his mask on as usual and a do rag. Vader
Is
has
my
no
man
fucking hair.
is Leon trying to get some waves going? Is that what's going on here? What is up here? He doesn't have the natural hair. He doesn't have any hair.
He doesn't have any hair.
My
He's
guy's
got
out
a
here with the
do-rag
fucking
on.
Bill Burr haircut, trying to see if he could bring out the glory days and get wavy with him.
Oh my god. Why?
The
What do you think of
trophy's
this
massive.
match?
The
It's
trophy's
huge.
massive, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like the unironically big trophy that kids who win soccer tournaments get when they're like 8 years old.
Yeah. What'd you think of the match?
For the 5th time asking, I thought this
Yeah.
match was fun. Just to spoil everyone, there's 2 Vader matches back to back here.
Back to back Vader baby.
Yeah, we go lethal weapon on these motherfuckers. And I personally like the second one more. But
Okay.
this is right there with it. I thought this one obviously has more action in it. I thought this was just really fucking cool. And I think that the chemistry between these two is what's really fucking fun about this
Is
match.
really
Because they
good.
know each other
Yeah.
real well.
I also think it's really weird. Like I wouldn't have thought of because obviously wasn't as familiar with Sting's kind of catalog. If you ask me like who are Sting's best rivals, obviously you think of Flair, you think of Style, like you think of some guys like that. But then you feel like Vader.
Like Vader's
What a
in the
good-
top 3.
What a good mix of styles for these guys.
And what a legend! Like this is a legendary WCW like feud. These two.
Truly. So early on, Vader with some scoop slams, military press, stun guns, which I was down for. I was like, that
Yeah.
is a good
Someone
move.
bring that as their finisher. Give that to Omos.
Yes. You just any big man move, you're like, Omos needs that. Are you saying he
Because
doesn't
I
have a
don't
good
want
move?
him to have the Great Khali fucking choke spine buster.
Remember when he had just had the head crusher? Remember when that was Kali's thing? He just
Remember
squished
when
you like
Rey
a grape?
Mysterio was like bleeding from his mouth from it? I thought a man was dying as a child.
So yeah, we get that move a couple times. We get that like rolling front kick by Sting to get some space. I like that.
Yeah,
I
we
like
love
that
a good rolling heel kick. Those are great.
Mhm.
That's the Tyler Bates special.
Big fucking German suplex. Big,
Huge.
big Vader suplex.
And it's effortless.
Yeah, Sting is strong boy, man.
Sting is a strong ass dude. We see it later on. Obviously, as you know, Evan will get more into the history, but Sting takes like a year plus out of the ring, and he shrinks like a motherfucker.
He does. He gets a lot smaller.
But here, this dude is fucking packing it. It's very much lean muscle, but he's fucking jacked.
The other reason he looks smaller is because black is a very slimming color.
Oh, is it?
And that dude's in a black bodysuit. Looking
Is
like
that why
Beyonce in Single Ladies.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Clotheslines Vader to the outside, Sting does, and then we get the crossbody over the top rope. A little plancha hits Vader and hits Harley Race with his feet because Harley Race is Vader's manager at this point.
I'm just waiting for the Harley Race episode. That's
gonna
what
be
I'm
good.
waiting for.
It's coming soon. I think we gotta get it done.
The thing with Harley, though, I feel like Harley's one of those guys who we're not going to be able to because it's very difficult probably to find like a good catalog of his matches. But Harley's got to be like a 2-part guy.
Yeah, we might have to do like a solid like month or two of 2-part episodes.
Yeah, we got to bring Batista. We got to bring Batista back. You know when I realized Batista was popular? So as you know, my girlfriend Kelly, not very into wrestling. One of the only wrestlers she knows is Batista. But when I was like, yeah, it's because he's in movies now. She's like, no, it's because when she thinks of wrestling, she thinks of Batista. She thinks of John Cena. She thinks of The Undertaker, and she thinks of Rey Mysterio.
So she's a SmackDown stan.
Yeah, which is the first thing that came to my mind. But obviously she wouldn't know that. But no, she knows Batista the wrestler. SmackDown. And if her non-wrestling knowing ass can know about Batista, then clearly there's more of an audience for Batista than I thought.
I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora? All right. We're on the outside still. Arm drag by Sting. So we did get back in. Big boot cuts off the Stinger splash. Nice spiking DDT by Sting, too. It was really good.
Sting's got a good-looking DDT, man.
He's got a really varied moveset here. Vader goes to the top rope, or gets put on the top rope. We get like an arm drag style move off the top by Sting. I was like, this is kind of like a hip toss, but not really. It's a 2 count. It's okay.
It's solid. It's good shit.
Scorpion Deathlock. Vader is right beside the ropes, so he grabs them immediately.
Yeah.
Then we're back on the outside. Sting wants a Stinger splash by the barricade. Vader rolls. Sting hits the guardrail. Opening for Vader. He proceeds to pummel this tiny blonde man.
Sting sold the ribs from the guardrail like death. Like he looked like he's like, holy shit, I just got diverticulitis from this shit.
I've never had this happen before. I have no wind.
Vader back in the ring. Vader hits a Vader splash, and then a clothesline to follow that. Vader hits a back suplex and then a running splash for a near fall. And then we get one of the more impressive backslides I've ever seen.
I've never heard a pop this large for a backslide.
That was a really fucking good looking backslide by Sting.
It's really good, and obviously Vader's a huge guy to do this on.
400 pounds, man.
Crowd goes fucking bananas.
He's just a big man. Sting hits a back suplex. A little bit down here, we get some really good looking punches from Vader. Then he turns him into stiff ass shots. Vader is a stiff man. If I worked back in the 90s, I would not have wanted to work Vader.
It doesn't sound like a fun assignment.
It's literally like, I don't even know who would be like compared to Vader nowadays.
There's nobody out there that...
I don't know. Aaron Donald became less lean and more, big,
rounded out a bit more.
Yeah, if fucking Akeem Hicks just started punching me, I would not like it very much.
Oh no, not Akeem Hicks. Akeem, the African team.
Jesus. Moving as far away from that as humanly possible. Sting drops Vader with punches, so big man can't hang. Sting with a Samoan drop, basically,
which they don't know how to call.
Yeah,
and they call it like a shoulder suplex. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and then I think in the next match he hits another one, and JR calls it a fall-away slam, and I was like,
yeah, which it definitely isn't.
He does a top rope splash for a near fall. Harley gets on the apron, distracts Sting. Vader gets up and starts beating his ass. Vader hits a Uranagi, then a middle rope splash. He decides, fuck this. I'm putting this motherfucker down. Goes up to the top for a top rope splash. When he jumps up, Sting is already on his feet, catches him, reverses that, or uses his momentum to turn it into a power slam.
Yep.
Gets the pin on. 1, 2, 3. Sting wins the match.
What a really fun match. I still don't excuse the do-rag, but a very fun match. Like, if it goes 5 more minutes, like I would be able to forgive the do-rag. but it
But it's
didn't
only like
quite
an
reach it.
18-minute match.
Yeah, and I'm like, God damn, like you just keep going for like 2.5 more minutes, you got it. But nope, still no pass on the do-rag.
It's like, remember when Vince shaved his head, had to get his head shaved, and he just started rocking a do-rag for a while?
Yes. I wish I didn't know so many things that Vince McMahon has done in his like the amount of times I'm like, remember when Vince was ECW champion? Remember when he did
I
that?
mean,
Remember?
like mid to late 2000s, Vince McMahon would not survive the allegations at like now. He would not. He would
He
not survive
just
2022.
he's a wild card. I don't just get him out. Just get him out. Be
Get him
gone.
out.
Let's continue with Sting versus Vader. This time it's a strap match at WCW Super Bowl 3. Now, I need to talk about the naming of this match. This match is technically called the White Castle Lights Out Unsanctioned Leather Strap Match. What the Jesus Christ is that?
White Castle.
Yeah, is this the fucking Sprite Slam Cam? Like, do you know how livid I
Is
am
fucking,
here?
I'm sorry, is Aroldi and Kumar gonna show up from behind the curtain?
Yeah, I love Harold and Kumar. Those are my boys. But the idea of it just being sponsored like that, all I thought of was like when Madden used to have the Old Spice Red Zone alert or whatever. It's like,
Jesus.
and they had the Old Spice swagger rating. And I
Is
was like,
fucking Neil Patrick Harris gonna show up on some weird like mushroom binge?
hey, that movie got him onto How I Met Your Mother. So
Jesus, did it?
yeah, his cameo there, they realized how good he is at kind of being like a smarmy asshole. And they're like, hey, we got this guy Barney.
Oh my
Come
god.
try. And it
Amazing.
worked. So before the match starts, there's this weird backstage segment. Did you watch that?
Of course I didn't watch it, man.
It's not even the whole thing, but it's Vader. They're like in some futuristic back lot area, and Vader's asking Harley to put the strap on him, and then they go to the ring, and they don't have the strap attached yet. They just, I'm like, well, then why the fuck did we watch it back there? I said the word strap on for those who are listening, and Javier cannot hold it together.
So JaVale McGee just signed a 3-year, $20 million deal with the Mavericks. Not okay. Juan
Not
Toscano
okay.
Anderson went to the Lakers. I don't know what's happening.
The NBA is weird. I don't understand.
Also, Sting, a man of loyalty. Sting is a man of loyalty. You know who is not? USC and UCLA. They are officially a part of the Big Ten now.
They're slowly but surely turning into a sports podcast. Slowly but surely. This is a non-title match. Vader is world champion at the point, but because it's an unsanctioned match, it is a non-title contest. Last thing before we start, Tony Schiavone's on the call. God bless.
Yeah.
It's great times. You like this match better than the first Vader match.
Yeah, I did. I don't know, man. By this point, it's just like, it's because it's not like your conventional strap match that we're used to seeing. You know, it's not like the one we saw a few weeks back with JBL and Eddie. This shit had like proper storytelling. There was proper wrestling. There was good psychology
was
to it.
less just grabbing the bottom rope to hold on for dear life, because that happened a lot in the Eddie JBL one. Go listen to.
And also, there was just less going for the corners. Like they were just properly wrestling.
Beat the shit out of each other first.
Yeah, these two guys fucking hate each other. And they showed it.
Vader's pulling on the strap to get to Sting. Pulls him in for a clothesline. We get a big-ass splash by Vader. It's really nice.
I wrote Hulk Hogan Sting coming for you. I don't know why, but I think it had something to do with Sting's entrance. Oh, no, it's because he's rocking like yellow and red.
He's got yellow and red on, yeah. I was like, I mean, nothing wrong with trying to beat up Hulk Hogan. That's fine. We'll get to that. But
Vader pulls Sting in and clotheslines. I'm pretty sure you said that already. He starts whipping him, middle rope splash, and then so this is fucking hilarious. So Sting, I think Vader's in like a 3-point stance, like an offensive or defensive lineman, I guess would be in.
Yeah.
And Sting just notices this and pulls the fucking rope so that Vader's arm would get caught between his legs. And he just has Vader fucking low blow himself. 3 times he does it.
Why are you hitting yourself?
Yeah, it's just, why are you hitting your dick? Why are you hitting your own dick, man?
This,
I
this
broke out
bully is so mean.
this bully. I don't know why this bully turned into a fucking guy from Southie. Why are you in your own fucking dick,
Why are you hitting
man?
your own dick?
Why are you doing that? Why are you in your fucking dick?
We get a jumping Enziguri by Sting too. Jumping clothesline, a splash. He's really throwing all the moves at him. We end up on the outside. Sting is using the strap to pull Vader into the post repeatedly, which is I feel like a staple of strap matches. Like it's always going to happen at some point. It's a good spot.
Yeah, that and whipping are two
Yeah, whip
locks
whip
for strap
whip it
matches.
good. Sting rolls back in. The back of Vader's head is ridiculous. It is busted open.
Girl, the back of your head is ridiculous.
Oh, you like Mike and Ike's?
Can I have your number? Can I have
Can
it?
I has it? Can
Can
I
I
has
have
it?
it?
Yeah, for those of you who don't watch Mad TV in the early 2000s, you're gonna be lost now. But yeah, so Vader's head's busted open. We get a Samoan drop by Sting. Sting reverses out of a power bomb, goes up top, and misses the top rope splash. Shouldn't have gone back to that well. Vader gets back in control.
Yep. Vader's back in control, and Vader's looking to kill people.
People being Sting.
Yeah, people being Sting. At one point here, though, Sting forces him into the guardrail. We get the Samoan drop. Sting reverses. Vader goes for a Vader bomb. Sting gets out of it, puts it into a backdrop. Vader hits a running splash.
Mm-hmm.
Vader hits a Samoan drop. Vader bomb. The not a power bomb. The jumpy one. I don't know why he doesn't change the names up.
It is very confusing.
Like Vader splash was right there, but instead Vader
there.
splash is used to when he runs into someone in the corner, which I don't understand. Vader starts whipping Sting at one point here, and then finally someone starts going for corners. Vader gets two corners before Sting stops his ass.
Rev waves it off. We get another Vader bomb attempt, but this time nobody's home. Vader's still in control though, even though Sting managed to avoid the Vader bomb. He still gets control.
Yeah, Vader. The story of this match is basically Vader keeps getting up first, no matter how much offense Sting is able to inflict on Vader. Before Sting gets up, Vader's already moving.
Sting makes Vader topple using the strap to pull him, which I like that spot again. Vader puts Sting on the top turnbuckle, hits a superplex, and I wrote Sting sells like he's dead. Sting's like, all right, we're out.
Because he fucking might be.
He just might be. Vader throws absolute fucking hands in the corner. That's what happens next. Vader goes to the corner and just Rocky with the meat.
No, it's like you ever see the video of I think it's Frazier throwing hella punches at Ali in the corner, and Ali's just ducking him on. And after Frazier's done, he just does a little shimmy,
does a little shimmy shake. Yeah,
it's like that, except every single punch connected.
Except if Ali moved his face intentionally into the hands.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Vader gets three of the corners. Sting stops it. Stiff ass punches from Vader. Sting does that rolling heel kick again. German. And then hits a beautiful, just an absolutely picture perfect DDT.
Yeah, another really good DDT by Sting.
It just doesn't matter because Vader keeps getting up first.
The Sting lifts Vader on his shoulders. I was like, okay, what are we doing? And he's just walking him around to touch the corners. But as he's lifting him up, Vader's foot hits Nick Patrick, and Nick Patrick sells like he's in the World Cup and looking for a late penalty. He's
like Arjen Robben.
While Nick Patrick is down, Sting touches three corners. As he's going to the fourth, Harley Race pushes Nick Patrick just a little to get in Sting's way, and he topples because he's carrying Vader, which is hard to do. Vader's a big boy.
It's fucking hilarious. Vader gets the advantage after this. He does something really smart here. He actually wraps Vader's foot with the strap to make it easier to drag him around, and ends up tapping 3 of the corners before before Sting. I believe he holds on to the strap for dear life and then pulls Vader in and kicks him in the face.
And as he kicks Vader in the face, Vader backs into the fourth one, giving him the win.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I like the ending. I
stupid.
thought it's a stupid way to end, but at the same time, it's Vader was dominant enough that like he can win by a fluke, and it's not like a total surprise. You know what I mean? Like he
Here's the
was.
thing that gets me with that finish, though, is the entire match. The only way to negate the corners, this isn't WWE where you have to tap a corner to erase them all. It's just if the person who's tapping corners gets their momentum lost from by their opponent, then that's it.
Yep.
It's very evident that he lost his momentum.
And yet it doesn't get waved off, which does
Doesn't get
not
waved
make
off.
a lot of sense.
But
Here we
okay,
are.
man.
But okay, whatever. Can I get your number? All right, we're going to take a break. When we get back from the break, Sting turned his back on WCW. Back from the break, and Emo Sting is here. Not quite, but soon. Sting has dark hair now. It's 1996. And the NWO is in town already. They've shown up. He's been bamboozled. He was part of that match with the third man, which I considered adding, and then realized it was more of a Hulk Hogan vehicle, and I decided, nah. It's a no from me, dog.
It's going to be a no for Mizzle.
The night before this Nitro was a War Games match that was actually quite bamboozling. So this is the beginnings of the NWO.
War Games!
Sting and Luger were teaming up with old enemies Flair and Arn Anderson to team up against NWO and a fourth man. On the Nitro before, NWO played a trick saying that Sting had joined them. And they had a vignette where there was NWO had a recording of Sting's voice and saying that he was the one he lured Luger into the parking lot using the voice. And then once he was there was a man dressed as Sting. It's time for NWO Sting to make his appearance. It's Jeff Farmer. Get excited. And the crowd believed that Sting was that was Sting and that he had come to join the NWO. And because of that, like Sting showed up to Fall Brawl and was like, "Hey, like I'm ready to join the team." They're like, "You're a fucking traitor. You're on team NWO." And he's like, I'm not." He got in the ring at the actual match, and there was the imposter Sting, who was already in the match. Sting walks in, takes out all 4 members of the NWO, Hall, Nash, Hogan, shitty Sting, turns to Luger and says, "Is that good enough for you right there? Is that proof enough?" And then flipped him off and left the match. Sting is an alpha, baby. He's like,
Sting?
"You don't believe me? Fuck you, Lex Luger."
Yeah. You know why Sting didn't come to WWE in the first place?
Why?
He's a top draw, baby. He's the number one. If
Top
he
guy.
can't fucking have it, nobody can.
What'd you think of this promo?
I thought it was fucking genius. So Sting comes out and immediately woos, and immediately his back is turned to the hard cam. And my favorite thing about this promo is the entirety of it is with his back to the hard cam.
He literally is turning his back on WCW, but not the fans. He is facing the fans explicitly. He makes that very clear. Also, he's not only does he have his back turned, he's like right beside the ropes on that side. Like he's not even in the middle of the ring. He's like, "I don't give a fuck. I'm not over here. I'm talking to you guys."
Yeah, I only care about
really
you,
good.
the people. Yeah, he said he wants the chance to explain what happened last Monday, which Evan already did. Says he was on a plane from LA to Atlanta and saw what seemed to be like a rerun of Nitro. He goes, often imitated, but never duplicated. And then he starts getting into the meat of it. He said he saw people doubting the Stinger.
That's right.
And then
Doubting
he says he saw more doubt on Saturday, which again, Evan's already explained. He said he knew he had to get to Fall Brawl to go face to face with Lex Luger to let him know that it wasn't him, and Lex didn't believe him.
Yeah, all I got out of that was, "No, Sting, I don't believe you." All I gotta say is I have been mediator. I have been a babysitter for Lex Luger. I have given him the benefit of the doubt 1,000 times. And then talks about how he carries the WCW banner, how he is the guy for WCW, and he's right.
Yeah, I've given my blood, sweat, and my tears for WCW. Says he'll stand by all the people that never doubted him. Says anyone that has ever doubted him can stick it. And he goes, from now on, I consider myself a free agent.
That's right.
And says that he will pop in when we least expect it.
That's right. He just kind of pops in from time to time. He just shows up with face paints and a little darker, little whiter face paint and darker clothes. And then he would start doing these loyalty tests. Where he would find a WCW wrestler in the ring, he'd confront them, and like he'd annoy them. He'd like kind of poke at them with his bat until they advance on him, and then he would offer the bat to the wrestler and turn his back and be like, "Will you hit me?" And he's testing their loyalty to WCW because Sting is WCW, right? Like, if you are truly with us, then you won't hit me. And some of them did, and they passed his test. That's great. But then I watched the clip of Sting using the zip line for the first time, which was at Uncensored 1997 in March. So that's 6 months after. He doesn't really get back in the ring to do anything until 6 months after, and he clears out NWO by himself. And then Commissioner J.J. Dillon is trying to get him in a match, and Sting would tear up the contracts in his face, being like, "I want one person, and that is Hulk Hogan. One person only." And we finally get it. Sting doesn't have a match from Fall Brawl 96 to Starrcade 97. And that's where our next match is. It is Sting versus Hollywood Hulk Hogan, WCW World Heavyweight Championship, the main event of Starrcade 97. It is a necessary evil to do this match because this match sucks.
I said to Evan before recording, it's quite possibly the biggest disappointment in the history of professional wrestling as far as a match goes.
It is one of the biggest buildups of all time. Sting, I didn't comprehend how fucking over this whole gimmick change was. Like, Sting being the guy who was watching and seeing NWO ruin this company that he had given all of his effort, energy, blood, sweat, tears, all that to. And then he finally steps back in the ring, and he's finally going to go for the world title again. Yeah. Something he hasn't seen, I think, since 94 at this point.
And, it's fucking Sting. He's one of the best. Everyone knows how good he is.
He legitimately is one of the best. Also, the amount of time that they gave him really allowed him to settle into the Crow gimmick, because his first appearance with the face paint, when he confronts Imposter Sting, the face paint's off. It's not the full face yet. It's just all white. His hair hasn't grown out. Then the next time, the face paint is all white and he covers the whole face, but doesn't have like the black markings in it as much. He really settled on the right face paint.
Yeah, and it looks great.
Yeah. He looks like $1 million. I get it. I never understood we need to see Sting versus Undertaker. I was like, why? I get it now. I see it. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. I would have liked to see it. Honestly, I think the best time for it would have been at some point in 2007, 2008. But motherfucker just would not leave TNA. Honestly, even all the way up through to 2013. It would have been great. Taker was still really good.
Yep.
We had that match at Mania with him and Punk. Imagine if that was him and Sting.
God, that would have been good.
Don't make me
Hogan.
Just don't make me remember this match. Hogan is so incredibly fucking annoying this entire match.
His hair looks absurd, and I know Hulk Hogan has some of the weirdest hair a human could have.
You know what I just don't understand is at certain point, just get hair plugs, man.
Just do it. We'll all be fine with it. We'll all get it.
Come on.
But he's got the shiny dome, right?
As shiny as it possibly gets.
The bleach blonde around, and normally he grows all that hair a little bit, and it all makes sense. But it looks like he just took the top line, grew that as long as possible, and combed it over. It looks like drapes. It looks like hanging spaghetti. That's it. This man has pasta on his head. Pasta mania is running wild on Hogan's head.
Now the real question is, what type of pasta is it? Are we talking a lasagna? Are we talking a
Oh,
nice
it's
linguine,
angel
a
hair.
fettuccine?
It's fine as shit and holding on for dear life.
And what are we using that for? Are we using that for cacio e pepe? What do we got?
And then, of course, he still has his blonde mustache and his weird beard that looks like it's like colored in a little bit, like the dark parts. And
Yeah.
it's just an awful look. An awful
It's
look.
not fun. It's not what you want. Anyways, I hate you for making me watch this. Is my first note.
I said it's a necessary evil. It's one of, if not the most important Sting match. It's just a shame it sucks.
I wrote it. I wrote here in parentheses 7 minutes in. They're just staring at each other. We're 7 minutes in.
Hogan pushes Sting in the very beginning, and Sting slaps him back. And then Hogan just runs around the ring. And I love this for Sting because, old Sting would have chased him down, wooed a couple times, been playing in the crowd. This Sting just stares at him.
Methodical.
Just staring through him. You know who
Methodical.
would have been a good, who would have been a good Sting? Dean Malenko.
Shooter! He doesn't ever need to cut a promo either.
That's true. Fuck, we should have given this gimmick to Dean.
The shooter!
The hero of WCW, Dean Malenko.
Homie,
God bless.
I just want to see him tie people up in the pretzels and then hit him with a baseball bat.
Yep. Staying with the dropkick again, Hogan goes to the outside.
Come on,
Hogan
hero.
keeps to the outside.
Come on, hero.
Yeah. Commentary makes a big thing about like this word hero. Like, does Sting even want to be called that? I'm like, sure, why not? Who doesn't like to be a hero?
There goes my hero.
Great song. Hogan with a headlock, a shoulder block, series of drop kicks by Sting. Hogan goes to the outside again, like it's the same thing over and over again. It's like
Hogan missing
like
3 standing elbow drops was hilarious.
It was really good. And Hogan missing things is like my love language, I think. Like Hogan fucking up is just like,
Omelette du fromage.
We get more shoulder blocks that the guys trade. Sting gets a combo. Hogan hits a thumb to the eye because he's a dick. Yeah.
Hogan just keeps taking breathers. Then we get the fucking long headlock spot.
Because this, if anyone has earned a break at this point, it's these two.
Guys, there's been 4 drop kicks from Sting. 3 missed standing elbow drops. 2 Hogan eye rakes. And a bored Javier ready to off himself.
Yeah, that's where we're at. So Hogan's on the outside. They're brawling. Has some right hands. Slams Sting in the apron. Sting whips Hogan into the barricade. We get the same Stinger splash spot from the One Vader match where Hogan moves. Stinger goes chest first onto the barricade.
Hogan crotches him on the guardrail.
Yeah, then we get the Hogan special in the ring. Atomic drop. One of the worst big boots I've ever seen against a regular sized opponent. The big boot is bad when he's a tall guy, and Sting is a big guy, but like not so much.
6'3".
But like he's not that much bigger than Hogan. He's 6'2". Like
Hogan's 6'2"?
No, Sting's 6'2".
I was about to say Hogan's like 6'5".
So like, how does he butcher this big boot so badly?
Yeah, it's just it's because he sucks, Evan. That's why. Leg
Speaking
drop.
Speaking of people who suck,
leg drop, and then just go ahead. Just go ahead. I can't.
So we are in December '97. The month before was the Montreal Screwjob. Bret Hart is signed with WCW. He was a special referee earlier that night. They were supposed to do a rehash of the Screwjob, which, for some fucking reason, we keep doing over and over again. We just keep doing it. And Nick Patrick was supposed to do a fast count on the 3 after the leg drop, but he doesn't. He just regular counts it. So he bungles it. Brett comes and says, "Don't ring the bell." So Brett looks like the asshole here. Like it looks like Brett was just like, "Nah, I don't want Hogan to win," because he says, "Not like that." And I was like, "Not with a leg drop? Like you want Hogan to whip out like a Fujiwara armbar?"
You want him to put on a sharpshooter?
Yeah.
Would you be happy if he hits the sweet chin music?
So then Hart pulls Hogan back into the ring. NWO is here, but not like the main guys. Like Hall and Nash aren't here. I think it was like Buff Bagwell and somebody else. We get a Sting knocks them down, Stinger Splash, Scorpion Deathlock, a good looking Scorpion Deathlock, I will say,
Yeah.
really good. Hart calls
Shocker.
for the bell. So it all looks like shit. It all looks bad because they just didn't do, and it just doesn't make sense to have Bret Hart come out there in that spot. I think even if it went flawlessly, it still would have looked bad because I
Sure.
don't think Nick Patrick was even associated with NWO at this time.
I don't even know, man.
Like if Bischoff comes down and does the fast count, sure. Like that to me, I'm like, oh yeah, like that makes sense. Why are you throwing Nick Patrick in? Why are you throwing discount Kenny Powers in this? Okay. You let him be. You let him live.
Listen here, bitch. I'm gonna fuck you up with some truth.
I thought you were just gonna hit me with a fact at the end of that, just to like.
Yeah.
No, the fact
Yeah.
is this match sucks. Luger comes out to celebrate with Sting, so I guess all is forgiven. So does the Giant, aka Paul White.
Paul White. He was on Raw this week.
Yeah, I saw that. They let him and Jericho and Brian, I think, send in videos. It's
Send
nice.
in videos for John.
For John Cena. That match sucked. It's one of the biggest like blown payoffs ever in wrestling.
Yeah, it's not one of it's the.
You think it's the? My brain. I'm trying to rack my brain for
They
like what
built
else.
it up for a year and a half.
I think the only other one that comes close is that they didn't do the full what could have been with the invasion, but even that's just like a couple missed opportunities. Whereas this was like the match sucked.
It's not even that. It's just the whole invasion thing was bottled because WCW contracts were like crazy and people just took their ball and went home because it was more profitable for them to do so. So it's like, yeah, fuck that. We're just gonna collect. And so we didn't get all the guys, we didn't have the NWO. We didn't have fucking Goldberg. There wasn't anyone from WCW, really. So, yeah, like, what are you going to fucking do with that? Whereas this was a year and a half, and then they just fucked it. And by them, I mean Nick Patrick. I mean the fact that Hulk Hogan was involved. And I mean, why the fuck is Brett here?
Poor Brett. Just can't avoid shitty situations. We're going to take a break. When we get back, we got 2 more Sting matches. Back from the break, and the title was vacated after that terrible match at Starrcade. Sting won it back in the tournament. They had a rematch, and then it got vacated, and he was pissed. And then he won it back in the tournament. He would lose it to Randy Savage at Spring Stampede, if you're curious. We're skipping ahead to Nitro, September 14th, 1998. A match that shows up when you look up the best Sting matches. And this does not just include WCW, this is TNA included, which I thought was a weird addition. And I think you'll agree with me.
Interesting.
I think it's because of what he pulls out of somebody who usually can't do these things. It is a WCW championship match. It is Sting challenging Goldberg. Height of his powers, Goldberg. Unstoppable. I am Stone Cold with a vertical suplex finisher, Goldberg.
WCW champion, correct? Right? He's got the big gold belt, doesn't he?
It's a title match, yeah. Sting is in NWO Wolfpack at this point because he did end up going to NWO.
The way that I don't know the difference between Wolfpack and West Coast and
here's my best explanation for NWO Wolfpack. It's the elite of the Bullet Club. That's my best explanation. Like Wolfpack was like a few select guys. They all wore red instead. I think it was Nash and Sting and Savage.
Are we sure it's not like the Bullet Club of Mexico where it's like the Young Bucks and fucking Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti?
No, because there still was like NWO Hollywood, which was the original, which had like a lot shittier people. Wolfpack seemed to be like it was meant to be the cool one and the babyface one. Like it was like this is the really hip one, and the other one is like,
NWO went babyface. Holy shit!
This is a weird time, man. It's a Goldberg match, so it's going to be fast. What do you think of the match?
I mean, it's like you said. I liked it. I don't think it was anywhere near the first two matches, which I think are far and ahead the two best matches we covered
I agree.
this episode. But I would rank it third. I think it's pretty
Yeah,
freaking good considering Goldberg, I believe, is only like a year into the business at this point.
and that's the thing is like what Sting is able to bring out of him because I think a lot of this is Sting, and Goldberg is always better when he has a good dance partner. Even
Yeah,
now, like
yeah,
it's a lot of his ability is dependent on who he's in the ring with. And this one's decent. Early on, Sting dodges Goldberg. There's the power slam first, but then he dodges Goldberg in the corner, hits a running power slam of his own. Goldberg gets vertical suplex and pops back up, which like he was OP at this point. They needed to nerf Goldberg,
yeah. This
and
this
they
was insane.
did. They did with the cattle prod.
Anyways, nice leg drop by or drop kick by Sting. Goldberg no sells, then gets like a leg lock on. It looked like a knee bar kind of deal, like right up against the ropes,
Yep,
which is where he kind of showed his greenness.
a
Uh,
little bit, yeah.
then we get a Greco-Roman knuckle lock.
Where Goldberg wins the exchange, as he should. He's a big power guy. The Greco-Roman knuckle lock's also where I noticed that Sting, Wolfpack Sting, he might be mellowing out from his crow. It's like crow peak because this man has a puka shell necklace on. Sir, you are not Surfer Sting anymore. What are we
Oh
doing?
my god, Evan, did you ever have a puka shell
No,
necklace?
no. But I will do you one worse. Ready?
Go on.
I went to Stitches in
Jesus.
maybe the seventh grade, and I
Oh
bought
boy.
a like silver chain with like fake diamonds in it, and it was a big letter E. I had a big E chain. I was Big E. I was Big E before Big
Jesus.
E, baby.
I
It
will
was.
say
I wore it like earnestly, like I meant it.
there was a point in my childhood where I wanted nothing more than the padlock chain that John Cena had.
It was so fucking cool.
Nothing was cooler. Nothing was cooler in my life than that chain.
I always made fun of the people who did the Avril Lavigne thing where they wore the ties. I'm like, that's stupid. And then I saw the John Cena chain. I was like, that's fucking dope. Like
Yeah. Yep.
it was the Avril Lavigne ties for wrestling boys.
Also, I saw that she like recreated the cover. It's been like 20 years.
It has been 20 years. Yeah, good
I
for
was like,
Avril.
what the fuck?
It's a great album. That first album is top notch.
Hey, iconic, man. Iconic. Back to the match here because these
Goldberg
two.
tries a tombstone, or is going for a tombstone.
Homie can barely hit a fucking super kick without concussing a man for literally life. And here we are trying to get a tombstone off.
Sting reverses it, hits the tombstone. Goldberg is shaken but not stirred.
Yeah, he
We
gets
get,
two stinger splashes,
yep,
a third one.
yep.
Sting tries chasing for a spear. Or sorry, Goldberg tried chasing him as Sting ran back into the corner. He wanted to go for a spear. Sting moved out of the way, and Goldberg ended up posting himself.
And then Sting with a great veteran maneuver, just chop block this man. Take
Yeah,
out
chop
his
block the shit.
legs.
Yep.
Take out his legs.
And right after that, he puts on a Scorpion Deathlock.
And who arrives to fuck this match up, Javier?
Quite literally the worst thing that's ever happened to me. It was Hulk Hogan.
Just the worst things ever happened. I like that's happened to you, not wrestling. Like this is the worst thing that happened to you personally.
Yeah, it was Hulk
This
Hogan.
man's existence is an affront to your existence.
Yeah, it's the worst thing that's happened to me.
And the ref doesn't see him because he's like really close to Goldberg's face. Doesn't see Hogan climb onto the ropes, climb in the ring, kick Sting in the back of the head, and run out. And literally hide at ringside. Like the worst game of hide and seek of all time. It's like, oh, they can't see me, brother.
You can't see me.
Uh, So Goldberg gets up now because Sting got conkied, and Jesus Christ, the spear that Goldberg hits.
Yeah, I will give Goldberg shit all day long, but brother's got the second greatest spear of all time.
And the jackhammer he hits is impressive as hell. Back
Yeah,
then, when he could really get the oomph on the jackhammer, oh man, I get it. I see the appeal. You know,
yeah. I mean, spear, jackhammer. Fuck me. If we can appreciate Austin for just punching people and then kicking them in the gut and stunning them, I'm pretty sure I can get down with a man who just throws himself at human beings and then slams them.
Goldberg wins because Sting didn't have a taser. And then Hogan attacks Goldberg after the bell, and Bret Hart comes out to challenge Hogan. It's a wild time. It's a weird
Is it a
place.
wild time?
Yeah, it's a weird place. Speaking of weird places, let's go to the weirdest place of all, Daytona Beach, Florida. There's a weird place.
Yeah, it's about as
It's
weird as it gets.
it's the last Nitro ever, and it's the last Nitro match ever, and it's Sting versus his old pal Ric Flair. March 26, 2001. Sting was WCW to the bitter end, baby.
Yeah, the clip starts with Vince.
Yep. Walking through the hall, happy that he won. Did you watch the commercials that are randomly in the middle of this clip?
I noticed one commercial and one commercial only, and it was the commercial trailer for the movie Below.
Which truly runs as a great ad for cocaine. That's the whole trailer's like, you know what's great, kids? Johnny Depp and cocaine. The
Also,
other
here's
ones,
Penelope Cruz.
my name is Penelope Cruz. The other ones that were in there were a commercial for Scooby Doo, dope. America Online, you've got mail, fuck yeah. And a video professor for computers frustrating you or people you know will send you this CD. You put it in your computer and it'll teach you how to use your computer. I love that.
Wow.
What a simple place 2001 was. What a simple place.
Wow. Wow. Ric Flair's going to wrestle in his shirt.
Yeah, Ric Flair is not taking his shirt off at the pool at this point in his career. Ric Flair is like,
Ric Flair is the chubby kid at the pool.
I've got a skin condition.
Yeah, sure, Rick. Sure. Uh,
It's also Woo versus Woo. It's the Woo battle.
early on in the match, Flair gets all up in Lone H's face. Lone H bites back a little bit here. He's not about to let this man happen. Which I appreciate. Shout out to Lone H. We love looking at Charles Robinson.
We do.
Flair gets some chops in the corner because it wouldn't be a Ric Flair match without chops. But it also wouldn't be a Ric Flair Sting match without Sting completely no-selling those chops, exploding with chops and punches of his own, hitting a hip toss, and then following that up with a dropkick.
It's true. Sting gets shoulder blocks. Flair dodges the leapfrog by Sting, and he smiles. These two are having fun. Like it's the last match ever on Nitro. These they don't know what their future is at this point, and these guys are just out there having fun. They've done this 1,000 times, so they're like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, Sting hits a press slam, 10 punches in the corner, drops 10 punches in the corner. Flair flop right after that.
Where Sting watches and like just points him down. He's like, yeah, he's gonna go down like that. I love it. It's just like old rivals, you know.
Flair gets a low blow off, which is how he gets the advantage back, which is fucking hilarious. Snapmare, and then Flair drops the knee right on his face. Flair goes for something in the top rope. Evan, let the people know what happens when Ric Flair goes to the top rope.
He gets tossed off the top rope because that's what happens to Ric Flair on the top rope. He just gets tossed off the top rope. He did hit a Ric Flair strut earlier after that knee drop, and that made me happy.
Yeah, that's
he's
great.
The originator.
It's just fun. It's funny, man.
I am surprised there hasn't been like some sort of Ric Flair gritty overlap in my life. Like just
Okay.
Ric Flair hops on way too many like hip hop trends that I'm surprised I haven't seen it yet. He's gonna gritty in his last match. Put that in writing. He's gonna gritty.
Please stop talking. please stop speaking right now. I'm no longer a fan of where this is heading. Anyways, Flair puts on a figure four. He starts holding the rope. He's doing all the classic Flair stuff. Mm-hmm. Sting fires up, flips it over. It doesn't matter. Flair gets some chops. He's doing his bits in the corner. He's doing whatever he can. Sting says, "Fuck this." No sells a chop. Explodes with offense.
Flexes in Flair's face too. Does the full boulder shoulder flex too. Doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. Gets superplex off. Immediately Scorpion Deathlock. Flair does the head nodding deal.
The verbal tap, yeah.
Yeah, he's giving up. It's over. Sting wins the final WCW match. After the bell, these two hug. We get some kayfabe names. We get a Steve Borden drop by commentary.
Yeah. They don't give a shit. Yeah. The jig is up at this point.
My money don't jiggle. It falls.
It does. I like this match. I think it's funny just because, if there's two guys who were going to have the last match in WCW history, it should be these two.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's the most iconic rivalry in the history of WCW.
It's these two guys. They are the first two guys you think of when you think of WCW. It's Sting and it's Flair.
Yeah, it's like how the first two guys you think of when you think of the NWA, it's Flair and it's Dusty.
Yeah.
WCW, it's Sting and it's Flair.
Yeah. ECW, Sandman, and Sabu. Goddamn.
Jesus.
I guess. Send them out there.
WWE, it's John Cena and John Cena.
John Cena and Ezekiel Randy Jackson.
Orton. Okay. That'll do it for this week, folks.
You don't get to say the go home, I do. I want to talk about the location for the last one. I love outdoor shows. I'm really glad AEW started doing them. I really like the setup for WCW's last show. I think there should be more outdoor venue shows. Not just the big open air stage.